Hello and welcome to Week 1, Lecture 2, Scientific Vocabulary. So this will be technically Lecture 1 of information you will actually be learning, as Lecture 1 was actually just an overview of the course. So when we're talking about scientific vocabulary, we're actually talking about an international scientific vocabulary standard. So that means that it is a vocabulary of scientific and technical words, terms, formulas, and symbols that are universally understood by scientists and similarly used in at least 2 languages. So anything we will be learning here is something that is recognized generally worldwide in the scientific community. So it is basically used for consistency among scientific literature and research. An example of that is, so a Canadian scientist can understand a journal equally as well as a Chinese scientist, because the terminology and the formulas will be the same. So I've put an example here of the formula to find moles of a substance. So this is a internationally recognized formula. It's the same no matter where you go, what country you're in, what language you speak. It is the same. So the formula is, to find moles, is the mass of a substance, so what you're actually weighing in the lab on a scale, divided by the molar mass of the substance, which you can find on your periodic table. And after you do that equation, that is the mole of a substance. So when speaking about standard vocabulary for the scientific community, I've provided some examples here of some of the vocabulary that you may see going forward. You'll definitely see analysis, approach, authority, benefit, circumstances, function, dominant, elements, etc. Things like these you'll definitely be seeing, and no matter which country you're in, these words, whether they be in English, French, Spanish, whatever, they will be the same throughout the scientific community as a standard of understanding. Now, besides standard international vocabulary for science, there is technical vocabulary, which is a vocabulary used in different disciplines of science. Examples like biology, physics, chemistry, medical science. They include root words and mathematical terminology. I have some examples here of mono, which means one, like monosaccharide, or bi, like bivalent, poly, polysaccharide, derm, which refers to the skin, like dermis, hydro as in water, kilo as in thousand or kilometer. And then we have a more specific example here that I've posted, the use of cardiac in medical science. So when you're referring to the term cardiac in the field of medical science, you're referring to something to do with the heart. So it could be cardiovascular, cardiac, whatever. Alright, so that was your brief rundown of scientific vocabulary, and at this point in the lecture you should now understand that there are international standards for a consistent understanding of terminology. So basically everyone worldwide is on the same page, and this will include vocabulary such as words and root words, etc., formulas like I used the example of molar mass, and symbols. You should also understand that there is a technical vocabulary relating to certain fields of science, and I used the example of the word cardiac relating to medical science, which refers to any terminology to do with the heart. So that is the end of Lecture 2, and if you have any questions, let me know. And you may now proceed to Lecture 3.